Can Rick stop Virginia from a hive mind? And can the president stop dating Wong? Let's find out. What's going on, everyone? Welcome to a spoiler-filled discussion of the third episode of the seventh season of Rick and Morty. This episode is called Air Force Wong. It is directed by Jacob Hare. Okay, spoiler discussion. Just to let you know, this is premiering as the episode premieres, so watch the episode first before coming in to watch this episode. So I actually really enjoyed this episode, to be fairly honest. I think it's a fun little, romp that brings back the president and also, of course, brings back, Unity, which is this Christina Hendricks character. It's an episode that really focuses on how weird and crazy the series can get. And as we know, Unity is a hive mind types community. And in this episode, the president is basically using Rick quite a bit. First, they actually take down the Loch Ness Monster, and now he needs Rick to find out why Virginia is acting the way they are, why is now for lovers, why they are unified in their reason and logic. And I just, the way this episode starts out, the fact that, the president's advisors are like three aliens. One's actually a robot called Chi-Chi, which I thought very, very funny. I like the fact that Morty's like, why are you dealing with the president like this? And I also like the fact that the president becomes infatuated by Wong, who of course is therapist for Rick. And Rick is very much against this. Now, what's really funny and really kind of interesting is just how Rick responds to it. Because Rick is so into the therapy that he feels that the president is encroaching upon Wong to take him away from his therapy. And I just found that very, very funny. It's very humorous, the fact that throughout the entire episode, it plays out that the president is very much infatuated with Wong, and Wong becomes like his advisor in some form, and there's dates involved, and Rick just becomes such a curmudgeon about it because he hates it so very, very much. And it becomes a running joke, but it's not the main storyline. It's just a very funny running joke throughout the entire episode. But the episode basically involves kind of what a hive mind, as we saw in the second season, is like, where people are acting very weird in Virginia. So they go to Virginia, and there's like this army national guard that's patrolling the borders, and they find out that, like with hive mind and the unity, how they control people's like throwing up in their mouths and stuff like that. Apparently a hive mind of sorts is created in of course Virginia. The mayor or governor of Virginia is basically controlling them, and they start like taking over things. And then there's an idea where like Rick knows what's happening. He's trying to call the president, and I love that the caller ID on the phone for the president for Rick is Rick GD Spaceman or whatever. So I started laughing, and it basically boils down to they have a way to stop him. Rick, of course, has a way to stop him, and they do everything he can. He has this gun, it has this chemical spray, but it's becoming like harder and harder to stop him. And it basically boils down to they put a Simpsons movie like spear over the state of Virginia. There's a funny joke where Wong goes, "Do you just have big domes that you can fit over any country?" And it's just, he's like, "Yeah, I'm the president, baby." It's what it is. So I don't know. It's funny. It basically boils down to the president realizes that he can get 100% approval rating if he lets them like turn him into the hive mind so he can control them. And that starts to happen. It starts to become like an invasion of the body snatchers. And then Rick, who has a history with the Unity, the woman who's played by Christina Hendricks, basically has to work with her, and they have to do their own hive mind, because you see like the society turning into this hive mind that loves the president. So they have to decide to use the Unity's factions to turn everybody into their own hive mind. And eventually the president kind of like relents, and then everybody goes back to normal. Unity and Rick kind of work together, but then Unity's like very much, I can't deal with this, blah 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 blah. Rick goes back to his own state. He also gets Wong to help him out, stuff like that. It's a lot of fun. It's very humorous. It's very much what Rick and Morty's like, because when Rick goes back to his garage, he has like 25,000 messages from Unity. And just the more he listens, the more he goes, oh my god, what have I done? But there's also another joke about Scientology, where one of the presidents, I think it's like one of his Secret Services members, is a Scientologist. And what makes it really funny is like Rick at first is like very put off by it, but then he's like, no, I accept everybody who has different religious beliefs. And he actually gets a message at the end by a solid Scientology major that basically says, oh, we heard you are interested in the Scientology and you have no problems with it. And it basically leads to the president going back to his kind of normal life. Wong doesn't want to have anything to do with him. And that's when it comes to the very end of the episode when the president goes, man, I need therapy. And Rick just goes, just like, oh, man, this episode made me laugh. It's not the best episode I've seen. It's not Vat of Acid or anything like that. But just the nature of what it does, the nature of how even without Justin Roiland involved, you could show that the talent is there in the the writer's room and the acting and stuff like that. It doesn't need somebody like Justin Roiland to be funny because at this point he's just kind of a figurehead. At this point he was the figurehead and doing the voices before they brought two different individuals in, and it just shows that what makes a comedy so great doesn't necessarily have to be that one person who is like the spokesperson. It just has to have a great writer's room, and it has people like Wes Archer and stuff like that to do the writing for these episodes and stuff like that. And it just I think it's just another fun episode. It's like an 8.5 out of 10. It's not a perfect episode. It's not the best, but it's a very funny episode. It has a lot of fun with its material. It doesn't hold back on what it's doing. It is what it is. There's like a segment where Rick and Morty are watching a TV show called Mr. Stabby or whatever. He has like these arms and legs that are like crystallized stabbing machine mechanisms, and like they watch and they're like, why do people go to this? Because everybody dies. And it's funny because you can hear the people screaming but you can't see anything. But what really funny is Rick gets a call from the president. Morty tells him not to do it. He calls Rick the son of a, or he calls Morty son of a bitch or something like that. And basically Rick's like, I gotta go, I've seen this episode before, everyone dies. And it's a great joke. But it's stuff like that makes me laugh. It makes me appreciate that Rick and Morty can be more without the central controversial figure that is, of course, Justin Roiland. So overall, 8.5 out of 10. Really enjoyed the episode. Really funny. Just thought, it's just a very typical Rick and Morty episode. So there's nothing that stands out. It's not, the Planet of Rick and Morty's or the Vat of Acid episode where it truly transcends, but it's still very, very funny. So overall, that's my take on season 7, episode 3, which is Air Force Wong. So yeah, there you go. That's my official opinion. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Comments below. What did you think of the episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? All that good stuff. But if you like this video, awesome. Hit the subscribe button to join Movie Emporium. Hit that notification bell top to find what's coming next. If you like this video, awesome. Hit that like button. And as always, we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace out.